everybody, welcome to our vegan video series. This week we're going to focus on Thanksgiving recipes, so things you can either bring as part of the main meal or as a side dish to make non-vegans and vegans happy. So the Italian stuffed peppers are a really great and easy thing you can make just to like I'm going to make tonight, or you can make multiples. You can serve them as a main dish to a vegan who's at Thanksgiving, or you can cut them up into wedges and serve them as appetizers. Traditional stuffed peppers usually use sausage or meat along with rice and vegetables in the peppers, but we're going to use tofu in the place of meat. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. So the first thing you're going to need to start with is 2 peppers. I have green. You can use red or yellow if you want something a little bit sweeter. You're going to wash them, which I've already done, and then cut the tops off of both of them. So just the very top of the pepper. And then you're going to want to cut the inside of the seeds out, so just go along the edges like this. And you should be able to take it out pretty easily. So now that both of the peppers have all their seeds removed, you're going to want to rinse them out in the sink. And then you're going to spray a baking dish, in this case it's a little smaller, but you can use a larger one, with cooking spray, and place the 2 peppers on their bottoms in the pan. If they have a little bit of trouble standing up straight, you can go to the bottom and cut off one of the edges so that they're all even on the bottom. Put them in that way. And then you're going to put them in the oven, let them bake for 15 to 20 minutes. So the filling for this recipe is really basic. It's just going to be rice, tofu, some tomato sauce, and a few spices. You can change it up by adding other vegetables or adding different kinds of rice to it, but that's what we're going to work with today. So to prepare the tofu, we're going to use a technique called pressing. First thing you're going to want to do is cut the package open. It's stored in water, so you have to drain that first. And then just dump the block of tofu on a cutting board. So for this recipe of this size, you're only going to use half a block of tofu, so just cut it in half and set half of it aside. Then you're going to turn the tofu on its cut side, and you can see that it's pretty wet with the water that it was stored in, so you're just going to lightly press it with a paper towel to get some of that off. And then you're going to press it, so either using a cutting board, a few heavy boxes, a few books. You're going to put another cutting board on top of the block of tofu. Balance it there. Put a few books on top. And either leave them there if they'll balance, or kind of hold them and press down lightly. This is basically pressing all the water out of it, and pressing all the water out of it makes it easier to cook. It makes it a little crispier, which is the texture that people prefer. So you can see around here how much water came out by pressing it. So after you wipe the water off with the cutting board, you're going to cube it just like you would cheese. I'm going to make a few cuts in each direction. And then again the other way. And then you can take each of those rows and cut them again. So then you're going to spray a pan with cooking spray. Turn it on to medium heat. You take 2 cloves of garlic and put them in the pan with a garlic press. You're going to add 2 teaspoons of olive oil to the skillet. Mix that around. And then you're going to add the tofu. So you're going to let these cook on the stove for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then once they're golden brown, you'll flip them over. So when you flip them, you want them to be golden brown on the other side, just like that. So after about 10 minutes of flipping it side to side, it'll be browned like this. You want to transfer it to a large mixing bowl. Then you're going to combine the rest of the stuffing for the peppers. You're going to take 1 cup rice, and this can be leftover rice from the day before. I'm using a brown Italian rice. You're going to put that in with the tofu. A 1/3 cup of tomato sauce, tablespoon of dried oregano, teaspoon of dried basil, a 1/4 teaspoon of parsley, and mix that all up. And a lot of these measurements for the spices are just based on personal taste. So I always taste it after I add those initial spices. Sometimes you'll want more oregano, or if you aren't using a pre-seasoned rice, you'll want some salt. So just taste it as you go along. Then you're going to take the peppers out of the oven. And you can see that the peppers will be roasted around the edges when you pull them out. Then you're going to take a spoon and spoon the mixture into the peppers. You're going to just press down, make sure it's packed in there. And then once you stuff them, you're going to put them back in the oven for another 15 or 20 minutes. So then after about 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to pull them out of the oven. And you can either serve them whole or cut them into pieces to serve as an appetizer.